Hi, this is Amravati, Design Lead at WebD School. In today's video, we will be discussing about how to create a parallax website in Figma. Creating a website with parallax effect is the most trending topic today. So in this video, we will learn how to create this parallax website step by step. So first of all, before getting into the design, you have to understand what is parallax effect. Say for example, when you are traveling by train or bus, when the nearby train moves, you get a feel that as if you are moving. So that doesn't mean your train is moving, so that is just an illusion. So this effect is called as parallax effect. In same way, in design, we are going to create an illusion by moving the background and foreground at different speed. Creates an illusion for the user that we are getting into the website of something. So let me show you some examples of parallax websites. So these are some of the examples where they have incorporated parallax effect. So here one thing you have to understand, all these vectors are different layers. By moving different layers at different speed is creating a parallax effect. Say for example, so in the example video which I am showing you, so this is exactly a layer and all these trees creates separate layers and the mountain creates separate layers. So while I move the foreground, background and different layers at different speed, it creates an illusion that you are getting into something, which creates a feel of immersive experience. Here basically the trees are moving towards us, so just a zoom option which creates a feel like you are getting into the video. First of all, understand the basics of parallax, and our next step is how to get awesome assets. So when you are trying to watch a lot of YouTube tutorials, so mostly there will be a predefined assets which they will be demonstrating to you, but nobody is going to explain you how to create this awesome assets. So let me show you how to take these awesome assets. So personally I suggest two websites, so Freepik and then Vecteezy. Since we are going to work with vectors, I prefer Vecteezy. So Vecteezy is a website where you have a lot of illustrations and vectors for free as well as paid. So today we are going to work with an example of simple free vector natural background. So just type in nature. So you will find a lot of natural sceneries over here. Let me choose the license type to free. So I am going to take this image. So basically whatever you download from this particular website is going to have EPS file format. That is, you have to open the file in Illustrator. So in my downloads, I got this file. Extract the zip file. And here you can find the EPS file format which should be opened in Adobe Illustrator. So I have got this image in my Illustrator file. So your next step is, from the Illustrator file, you have to export this image in the SVG format, that is scalable vector graphics, where all these layers will be different layers. So we are going to take this output as SVG. So go to export and export as SVG file format. After downloading the SVG file, I am going to bring the SVG file to Figma. So since it is an SVG file, the image is going to have separate layers. So if you look at this image, so you can find it, there are different layers. So our next step is to name the layers appropriately. So this is the most professional method. Why? Because if you do not name it properly, you find it difficult while creating Smart Animate. So if you find it difficult to identify the layer, you can just use this visible icon. So this is going to be a star, and this is going to be the moon, and these are the trees. So that by doing so, you can differentiate different layers. So this vector is going to be the background. So after separating various layers, now let's start designing. So I'm going to choose the frame. So it's going to be desktop 1440 into 1024. So always use the shortcut K while scaling the vector. So you can just extend your artboard size. I am just creating a rectangle over here and grouping it with this layer. So here I am going to have my content. Now we need some superficial content for this website. So I am going to use ChatGPT for that. I am going to type in the prompt, create web page content for Moonlight campaign. So we are going to make use of these content. So I am going to use the text tool. I need all caps for the heading. I am going to make it little bold and then center aligned. Now I am going to copy paste the sub content given below. I am setting this font size to be 20, also center aligned. Reduce the weightage of the font, increase the line spacing, so I am going to give a heading title to the banner section. So I want this text to be in parallax effect, like coming out of the moon. Let's make it very bold. Use the scale tool and scale the text. So whenever you choose color for the font, do not go for 100% black and 100% white. It's always pretty preferable to pick a color from your own design. So now we are going to move different layers. So we have set the layers. So I have a rectangle over here and then some of the text about content, and here the trees are in separate layers. So and my final step is I am just going to move these layers, adjust these layers to create a parallax effect. I want this text layer to be present below the moon. As well as I am going to hide the text behind the moon. So you can always zoom in, zoom out and change the position of the layers so that you create an illusionary effect that you are going to getting into something. Give animation or connection to these two frames. So I am going to click the prototype option, click the artboard and then drag your prototype to the next screen. So I am going to make the trigger as on click. So the action is navigate to desktop 1 and you have to choose smart animate under animation, which is very important. So I am going to make it 2000 ms, that is 2 seconds, so that the animation is clearly obviously visible to us. So we have created a super and simple parallax effect in Figma. So let's discuss more trending effects in Figma in the upcoming tutorials. Until then, see you.